it's really important to not let other people bring you down, destroy your life. For what? Because they feel shame about something that happened to them. It doesn't make any sense.
Hello, it's me. I'm here, and I thought today I would make a video where I'm just working on my stuff and I tell you how I kind of became so hot and comfortable with myself. Well, not all the way yet, but we're trying. Healed from my PTSD a little bit. So basically, this is how to be hot and confident in yourself and heal from a little bit of trauma if you got that. The first thing I was thinking, and I was just talking to a friend about this, they were telling me how they depersonalize their life. And I think that's a really handy tool, especially at first. Not like full-blown dissociation, but kind of just realizing that you're not the most important thing. Your pain is not the most important thing in the world, and you won't always be depressed. If you can find a way to separate yourself as a human being a little bit from your pain, I think it helps you realize that you're not just here for suffering and that there are other possibilities. Like, you're just a human, and in this time, like, your avatar is just really going through it. It needs softness, and it's not like you need softness, right? It's just like, you're a living being, your body needs kindness, and I know that we don't give that to ourselves a lot. The next thing I want to mention about being hot is that you literally have to do the work every day. You just have to do baby steps all the time, and get used to that. And I went from a place of really wanting to work on myself, but just being so hard on myself that nothing would get done, and I was just like in this state of hating myself, and it kind of became my identity. But I began to do affirmations, meditation, read books, listen to podcasts, and you do it all in a very cheesy way at first, because we're humans and we have this ego, and we think these little things that help people who are struggling, they're not gonna really help me, but they do, because it's science. So get over yourself and please listen to like some affirmations, because if you're here, that probably means that you have mean people in your family who brainwashed you into thinking that you weren't good enough. So you're just gonna go around with your brainwashed brain everywhere you go telling you that you suck? No, you have to brainwash your brainwash. So that looks like doing affirmations every morning, literally just going in the mirror, maybe saying like, I'm a silly little human being, and human beings make mistakes and they're so silly, but they're cute and we love them. It is so important to show up for yourself all the time, and I do have a tough time with that, but I think it's about forgiving yourself for the times that you just aren't able to. And it's not that you don't want to, right? It's just you aren't able to. I would suggest to take up a responsibility that gets you out into nature. I became my life was a lot more manageable after I brought my dog to live with me, so I can go on walks every day. And now I have to be outside at least an hour per day, because then I'll feel like a horrible parent and my dog will make me feel guilty about it. So that's kind of like a foolproof way to get out of the house. So I'd really suggest getting something, like investing in something that really puts a responsibility on you to just be outside, rain or shine, because that's really important. Get a journal and journal every day. You can lie to your journal at first if you need to. I know it's really hard to admit that you're struggling sometimes, but a really great first place you can start is on a page with a pen with no one around you. a journal is like such a sacred place. I try to, when I'm like in this practice, I try to journal every night and just list all of the fears I had, all of the mean thoughts I had, everything that's just like on my mind. I also do like to-do lists and stuff, but I think that's like a Virgo thing. Yeah, but begin your relationship with journaling because I think it's really important. It just gives you, it like validates your thoughts. It validates your insecurities when your body, I feel like it's like a tangible way of saying like, this is important, like the stuff going on in your head is important, and it's so important that you're like using your hand to write it out and keep it on a page that you keep under your pillow or whatever. The next tip I have is to be yourself as much as you can around good enough people. I heard that term from like a book somewhere that I read, but basically if you're having a really hard time and you're isolating and you're lonely, you don't have to find your best friends right away. Find people who, when you are yourself, maybe they're not doing everything that you wish they would, but they're smiling, they're telling you that that's great. Those are good enough people, and you're gonna wanna find those people, and eventually you'll realize, I just don't like being around people who are good enough. I want people who I want to be around, and it just gets a little bit easier to attract those people in your life and to hold your boundaries with yourself. And the people who don't like that will just, kind of fade away, and it's okay, and that happens. My next tip is to do something that embarrasses you every day. I think embarrassing yourself is a great path to self-love. I really do. I don't know if it's like my placements in my chart, but I really just love embarrassing myself in public. It makes me feel like myself more, and it makes me feel more human, and it kind of humanizes the people around me as well. I would suggest starting small and maybe just say whatever the hell you want to the cashier that's giving you your smoothie. You can literally say whatever you want, and people kind of just go along with it because they don't want to mess up appearances, right? But I think it's so fun when you're just saying really random things to everybody in your life, because most likely you will never see that person again, and it really throws people for a loop when you're just authentically human. I don't know. I think it makes existing a lot more fun because it's exciting. You never know what's gonna happen. You never know what's gonna come out of your mouth. And that might be as well because I'm neurodivergent. I'm neurodivergent. And yeah, unmasking is a thing. Learning to unmask is a thing. Be medicated if you need that. If you need that, do it. It's science. It's there to help you, and if it doesn't help, then you can stop. I'm on meds right now, and they're helping me live life a little easier, and that's what they're there for, so I'm thankful for that. Personalize every bit of advice that you get. All of this advice is not gonna work for you because it's basically projection, right? Because you have no idea what I'm freaking talking about. But if you personalize it to your life, I feel like it just makes more sense. If you're listening to an advice video and something really hits you and you're I wish that I could do that right now. You don't always have to do everything right away because you know that it'll help in the future. You can bench something and your growth will cycle and your learning will cycle, and when you're ready you can pick that thing up off of the shelf and it'll be ready for you, and you don't have to be toxic about it. Pick up things when you're ready for it, and that can take a lot of patience, but you're worth it. Another thing that I wanted to say is realize that you don't have to find a way to come to terms with what your family wants of you. The randoms in your family who have really attached to your achievements in life, really weird. But anyways, focus on building the strength to let those comments go. I know it's really hard, and like no one in society really does this, but you don't need to find like the perfect sentence structure or witty comment to get your point across. If they're not listening to you, let that go, because that's weird. Like, how silly is it that they're just like another human that's alive at the same time you are, and they're telling you how to act? Aren't we all animals? Don't we all like act like naturally? So they're literally telling you to like brainwash yourself to do what they want, which is just super silly. And I know that I'm not in a culture where family loyalty is super important, and so I don't know, I can't give advice about that. You don't have to play their game. I think people, especially young people, are realizing like we can do whatever we want with this life. Like, I'm trying to make it on YouTube, LOL, but that's because I really want to just be paid for existing and being myself. And I think it takes a lot of unbrainwashing yourself sometimes to realize that like people are really just overstepping sometimes. Like, yeah, I would just encourage you to find patterns in your life, and this will take a while because you have to let those cycles pass, right, for you to observe them. But just pay attention to cycles and see what kind of steps like kind of derails that. And I don't know, I believe in you. I've come a long way, and you just gotta be honest with yourself and willing to do a little work. You gotta do the work. We're all here for a very long time, so you have so much time. And I hope this didn't give you any anxiety. I know I don't like look at the camera when I talk, but that's me authentically. I don't like looking at people in the eye when I talk to them, and I'm hoping to find people on YouTube who honor me for that and help me continue my journey, because I'm still unlearning a lot, and I'd still like to get a lot further with my self-development. But anyway, I hope this helped a little bit. Just remember, like, I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do. I've just been through a lot, and I want to share it with people because it's really important. It's really important to not let other people bring you down, destroy your life. For what? Because they feel shame about something that happened to them. It doesn't make any sense. So I'm here getting revenge on them, and I'm here to help. So I hope it helped. Okay, bye.